Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina and it's been a long time since my last post. I believe it was the end of October, and that was just because my husband went back to work. He works shifts, so it's been a little bit hard taking care of the baby by myself for the most part, but I thought I'd do a quick video today just on the Miku baby monitor and my review on it, what I think of it. We have been using it for the past few weeks now as we've integrated our baby into his own crib in his room. He's no longer sleeping in the bassinet next to our bed. So we have this monitor. We bought it early in the pregnancy, but we hadn't actually really used it much. So now I can give a review on it. So the monitor actually goes onto the wall itself. I guess if you didn't want to put it on the wall, there might be a different way to connect it, but I'm not too sure. They do give you like those pieces there so that you can hide the cords. But the best place for it is on the wall, just because it's easier above the crib. Now, the monitor itself is on your Wi-Fi connection. So that's important to know, because if your Wi-Fi drops, your monitor no longer works. So just a good thing to have in mind. I thought that maybe you could still see the video just because there is an app on your phone that you have to download, but if the Wi-Fi drops, you can't see anything. It just completely disconnects and it doesn't work anymore. Which kind of sucks if there's a power outage or something happens, which it's winter now and we live in a city where we do get a lot of snow, and sometimes we get power outages because of the winter and because of the cold. So that doesn't really give too much peace of mind. Mind you, the monitor's pretty good so far. So aside from that, that's kind of a big issue. For itself, you do have to pair it, so you just press the button there, hold it, and then you can pair it to your phone. You can have multiple users, so as long as everybody downloads the app, then everybody can kind of see the baby from wherever they are. So let's say my husband's at work and I put the baby down for a nap. He wants to check in on him, he can. So that's a good thing. You have some peace of mind. If let's say you have a babysitter, you go on a date night, you have a babysitter, you want to make sure the baby's okay, everything's okay, then everybody can see from the phone. Now, the other thing I find that I like about it is that it has the breathing rate. I don't know how accurate it is, but I can see that my baby's breathing. Now, if the baby stops breathing in the middle of the night or there's no movement detected, then the monitor sends you an alarm, which it goes to any device that has the app, even if the app's not open, and it forces you to open the app so that you can see what's going on, and that's the only way to turn off. Now, the one thing I can say that's not the greatest with that alarm is that it will go off if you have nothing in the crib. So it just detects no motion or breathing after you've taken the baby out, and then like 30 minutes later it will like buzz the alarm. So I don't know how accurate that alarm is. I mean, either way, when we have the baby in the crib, we do have the app open all night, and I can hear the baby anyways from my room. So if anything, it's a little too quiet or this drops, I notice, and I'm a pretty light sleeper now that I have the baby. So I'm constantly aware and watching the monitor to see how he's doing, and if I ever feel like something's wrong, then I'm gonna go and check on him myself. Now that I've kind of talked a little bit about it being on the Wi-Fi and how that's not the best thing, it's good and it's bad. I like it because it's live and it's always connected, and we can look at it from anywhere, and that's great to know just in case we do have somebody babysitting, or you know, we just want to check up on him. But at the same time, yeah, it kind of does suck when the Wi-Fi drops or the power goes out, just because then it doesn't work. It's just useless. It's just a useless piece of equipment right there, and it's pretty expensive for it to not work if Wi-Fi drops. Now, the other thing is if the Wi-Fi slows down during the day, which lately because of COVID, that has been happening. So the Wi-Fi is kind of glitchy during the day at certain peak times. And that means that when you use this app, it kind of like lags a bit. So it does lag, and that's a little annoying as well, just again, because it's working off the Wi-Fi. I do like that it has several songs. There's a bunch of music that you can play for your child to kind of fall asleep, or if you're transitioning your child so that they fall asleep and they stay asleep, well then it's good. There's so many songs you can choose from. You can also talk to your baby. There's an option to use the microphone and speak to your baby, I guess just to soothe them before you come and get them if they're crying. And you can take snapshots of the baby while in the crib. It does have night vision, so you can see perfectly if the room is dark. It looks a little like a scary movie, and it made me nervous at first. I didn't really like it, but you can at least see your baby. The other thing that I find that I like with it is that my husband and I can both have the app on each of our phones. Now, the bad thing with having the app on both phones is we find, I don't know if it's just an Android thing or if this happens with Apple users as well, is that if I have my app open and he has his app open, like mine tends to lag crazily. Like it's just like it lags the whole time, or I have to like close it and open it, and it's just really annoying. So I don't know if it's meant to have a few open at the same time, but I mean that would be ideal if I'm in the kitchen doing something and I have it open and I can't keep eyes like as much, and then my husband's somewhere else and he's doing something. Let's say he's folding the laundry and the baby's sleeping. Well, at least we can kind of share and go back and forth and keep eyes. But like 4 eyes is better than just my 2, right? Than if I'm doing something. But I mean, that's just one of the cons that I find is that it lags a lot. Thing that's good to know is if you're gonna set this up, the setup's pretty easy, but you need to have a power source right under the crib. So if you don't have a power source nearby, then you're not going to be able to put it up, really. So just keep that in mind when you do think about purchasing one of these. The other thing that I did not like about it is the price point. I think it's just very expensive for what it is and how much it lags and all the issues it has. Because we can only use it on our phone. So in our head, we thought, okay, we were going to be able to put it on our Google Hub or, on our computer or something, so that if our phones are dying, right, because it drains the battery. So unless you're always next to a power plug, so we have to, at night, if we're using it, we're plugged in, right? But if you're not next to an outlet, like eventually your phone's going to die, or, like you can't, if you're switching from app to app, let's say I got to send a text to somebody or send a text to my husband, and I had the monitor open. Now it's suddenly for a minute or two, it's not open anymore. And I'm finding that I can't hear the baby unless the monitor's open. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you're thinking about purchasing this monitor, because unless you constantly have it open, yeah. The other thing I find that I don't like is that the volume is so low. We're lucky we can hear the baby regardless. Like I'm really good, I can hear the baby. But on the monitor from my phone, I understand, it's my understanding from what I've read is that it's an Android issue. Only Android users have this problem where even if you put full blast volume on your phone, you will not hear this monitor very well. So I literally put the phone to my ear and I'm like, oh, okay. I hear him making little noises, right? But yeah, so just keep that in mind. Again, I think it's too expensive for what it is and how much it lags and all the cons that I've mentioned. Do I like it? Yes and no. I mean, we have it. I'm not going to buy another monitor right now. Do I wish I had a different monitor? Maybe something a little cheaper. Because I got this on sale. So I got it on sale. Mind you, on sale was $500. So keep that in mind. So if you want to get the Miku, do I suggest it? I say look around, look at reviews, see what works best for you. But just know this thing is connected to your Wi-Fi. If you don't have the greatest Wi-Fi, don't even bother with it. It is a useless piece of junk if you don't have good Wi-Fi or if your Wi-Fi is constantly lagging or dropping. So the honest truth, in my opinion, is this is way too expensive. It should be $200. Easily $200. All right, see you guys.